Peekaboo. Yes, we're back. It's Diddy's trial, day 6. It's also Monday, May 19th, 2025. I'm going to get into court proceedings. What happened in court today on day 6? We have some witnesses, and we're going to get into it. He also applied for bail again. Did you know that? If you're in the replay, 6-7 minutes, and I will meet you there if you are in the bushes and or in the chat. Appreciate your patience in advance. And you know what it is. I'll be right back. A helping hand. Peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, the one, the only. Yes, I also call myself the $1 trillion goddess. And I also go by the Queen of Info. Take your pick. Yes, it is all a vibe, a frequency, and a mindset. Get into it, at least while you over here. We have a lot to talk about today, y'all. Happy Monday, by the way. Yay. Yay, Monday. All right, positive vibes only. I'm trying. Now, like I said, there's a lot to get into. It's day 6 of the Diddy trial, or the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And today we have continuing testimony from Dawn Richard of Danity Kane and Dirty Money. We also have testimony coming from Kerry Morgan, who you see here in a sketch. Yeah, she and Cassie have been friends for a long time. That's them in real life. This is them as well. You can tell they've known each other since they were young based on these pictures. There's another picture I don't have up that they're really young in the picture, but they apparently modeled together. Here she is walking solo. Here she is surrounded by protection, because it has been stated more than one time during this trial period that it is not safe. If you planning on talking about Diddy, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, it ain't safe, okay? So you got to have protection. The feds have had to remind the judge of such when the judge tries to tell them when they're leaving the courtroom not to talk to each other. Don't talk to the prosecution, don't talk to the witness, but we have to protect them, Your Honor. We're providing lounging. We have to hide this person. Before we really get started, though, I want to say hi to the warriors, to the chosen ones. Yes! I appreciate y'all so much. The Black Letter Law came up in here telling me she already read some testimony. I'm like, you're supposed to be waiting on me. The seasoned Sagittarius popped in. Yes. What's going on, sis? Nia X. Hey now. Yes. Wow, Wayne as well, being here and being my soldier, holding it down. Appreciate you. All right. What'd you say, the Black Letter Law? You called me early. You read about the testimonies. Yeah. Love ya. Wow, Wayne. Thank you for that Cash App shout out. These documents ain't for free, child. I do appreciate any support you can lend. All right. Thank you for hitting that like button as well. And anything I use, yes, please know there is a copyright provision out there. Love Queen, beautiful spirit. Yes, yes, yes. See you in the replay comments. PJ Corley, y'all, thank you for popping in. Thank you for the salute. I'm saluting you back virtually. Baby Yoda, thank you for the bells. All right, Baby Yoda. We kicking off on Monday. Ray all day. What's going on? Happy Monday. You said, girl, I tried to listen to somebody read it last week and had to exit. Every grown person cannot read. You know what? I cannot laugh because it's just, I have to laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but you're right. I'm always in somebody's chat telling them to go back to school. No, that's not true. But I am usually frustrated, okay, when someone isn't really paying attention. I think they're just not focused. I don't know. But I appreciate you supporting me. I do my best. Miss Sunshine to you. Yes, we have let the sunshine in. Alexis Harrison. Alexis Harrison. Let me get that right. Yes. Hi, guys. Remember you covered the Tory trial on Conscious. Oh, yes, I sure did. Shout out to Conscious TV. You are so good. I'm not in the courtroom, child. Maybe next time. Maybe next time on the big New York case. But I'm in LA. I hold down a lot of things out here. I wish I could be there, though. I'm having a little bit of FOMO. But thank you so much, Alexis, for keeping up with me. Black Letter Law, I like the way you break it down, but I did some commentary. You did some commentary on your channel? Okay. Yes, the Black Letter Law's YouTube channel, y'all. She's breaking down commentary. I'm going to have to go over there. Yes, thank you, Wayne, for welcoming everyone in. All right, y'all. Now, we about to get into this courtroom. I need you to put your devices away. Okay, I need you to relax. Hopefully you took your bathroom break because we're going in and full steam ahead. So we're starting off today with Dawn Richard, continuing her testimony. She's looking a little bit stressed as she's walking in, either in or out at this point. This is today because yesterday she was wearing a different outfit right here. But Lisa Bloom, her attorney, and her team are by her side. And she, I caught a couple people's commentary. I tried not to listen too much, not too much, because I want to come into this fresh, but I did hear some things about Dawn's testimony, but we're going to get into it ourselves and figure out what the hell is going on. What the hell? They say she got cooked by the defense. So we're going to jump right into that. Like I said, after that, Cassie's ex-Bff, Kerry Morgan, who was mentioned a whole lot during Cassie's testimony. And apparently she sued both Cassie and Diddy. I guess she broke up with him, child, and sued the both of them. So, but she's testifying for the government. And she's heavily protected. And she was on the stand. And then he had an assistant named David James. And he also took the stand. And that's him. And this is him with Capricorn Clark, who has also been mentioned. I'm not sure if she's going to testify, but she was an ex-assistant of Diddy's and is said to have seen, heard, and experienced a lot of things. But back to Richard. Let's get into it. I think I'll go ahead and throw her picture up in case somebody's coming in so they know where we're at and who we talk. She's on the stand this morning. This was 9 hours ago at this point. So I've always, Matthew Russell Lee, for Inner City Press, we shout you out and give our sincerest thanks for covering this trial. And though you leave out a bunch of shit, okay, because I'll be finding out stuff from other people and I ain't heard nothing from you, but I know you're doing your best, and you only have 2 hands. I get it. All right, so we're getting into week 2 of Diddy, Sean Combs trial, the U.S. versus Sean Combs. And it begins with the judge ruling on the scope of Don Richard's testimony. Then there's Kerry Morgan, like I said. Okay, all rise. Judge Subramanian says, on the defense's application with regard to Ms. Garagos' opening statement opened the door to this testimony. As to Mr. James, the testimony would be inadmissible absent more. So, the defense trying to disregard some stuff with regard to Don Richard, but seems Miss Tenny Garagos didn't know that her opening statement was actually going to open the door to some things that they had preferred they didn't. I know she mad right now, especially that it's being called out by the judge, because half of us wouldn't have known one way or another, but the judge is letting her know, according to the law, it's staying in. Okay. As to Mr. James, the testimony would be inadmissible absent more. Okay. So it looks like they might need more from him in order to admit his testimony. Open the door. Testimony would be inadmissible absent more. Okay. The prosecution says, as I ordered in my letter, as I argued in my letter, and speaking of letters, there are so many motions that have been filed within the past couple of days. And apparently one of them was for Diddy to get bail. Okay, the nerve. I believe that'll be addressed here as well. Now, there's a note here from the reporter, says Judge Subramanian just ruled orally on the letters that are not in the docket, although they are clearly judicial documents. Inner City Press was one of the press members to file a letter to the judge asking for things to be put in the docket, as well as asking to see certain videos and evidence. The same brand of testimony that was objected to on Friday, does the government expect Ms. Richard to say what she heard and saw? The government says yes. The judge says that would be permissible, just like the testimony in the recording studio. Prosecutor Slavic says personal assistants were with Mr. Combs 20 hours a day. Their testimony is admissible. The judge says, my concern is that there are other ways to get this evidence in. What Mr. James would add is just the postscript. Ignifilo jumps in and says, on the David James issue, this defeats the whole purpose of this hearsay objection. The government is arguing that it's all admissible because the job descriptions are so vague. We contend these are personal matters. The judge says, let me focus on you on the assault on the chef. Let me focus you on the assault on the chef. Mr. James learns from a member of the security detail that Mr. Combs assaulted the chef. Wouldn't that be in the scope of their employments? Ignifilo says, I don't know what relevance this has to racketeering. So I don't think Matthew of Inner City Press typed this in his tweets, but Dawn testified, or it could have been even Cassie, but somebody testified, or maybe both, about her cooking some eggs. Cassie was about to get beat with a skillet over some scrambled eggs, and Dawn witnessed this. And apparently it didn't connect, but it was like an attempted assault or something to that effect. Ignifilo says this is becoming sort of a bad act free-for-all. Assault is just not one of the racketeering acts. Assault is just not one of the racketeering acts. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to understand his typing here, because some of the stuff it's not connecting, but I get it. Let's see. This is becoming so. Of course, Ignifilo is arguing the fact that all we're hearing about are prior bad acts about the defendant. We're not addressing the actual charges in the indictment. And they're saying that assault is only one of the acts. That's what I'm getting. So Prosecutor Slavic says this is relevant to the means and methods of the enterprise. The chef is identified as a victim of forced labor. Forced labor is in there. Ignifilo says, I'm going to defer to Ms. Westmoreland on the other witness. Westmoreland gets up. Westmoreland, y'all, is the new attorney that Diddy hired. She's an independent attorney, meaning she has her own practice, and she's a Black woman. Okay, and you know he had been trying to get some Black folks on his team for a minute. So Westmoreland says, Mr. Richard claims that Mr. Combs assaulted Miss Ventura right in front of her. Is it supposed to be Miss Richard, Mr. Richard? These other alleged threats are nowhere near in close proximity to an alleged assault. We have to distinguish between the Danity Kane and the Diddy Dirty Money eras. And Mr. Pierre telling her, where are you going to go? I don't see how that can be construed as a threat. The judge says, let me think about it. Now, I see they're mentioning Pierre here. This is the defense. I'm wondering if he's going to testify for the defense. I don't know if y'all recall, but he is actually himself listed in one of the civil suits and being accused of assaulting a woman. So it wouldn't be surprising that he is a Diddy witness. The judge says, we have an application from the press that emails be put in the record. I'm directing you to put them together and put them in the docket by next Tuesday. And after that, on a weekly basis. Wow. The press is like, listen, we matter and we need transparency and we need you to start putting things in this docket. We need email access and we need you to stop holding those little private meetings in your chambers, Judge. This is the complaints. These are the complaints. And apparently the judge is listening. Now the reporter notes here is Inner City Press's filing challenging. So he puts his filing of the challenges right here on Twitter in case anybody wanted to read it. It says, judge entering prosecutor when Mr. Combs told you people could be missing. How did you interpret it? Dawn says that people could die. I couldn't believe that this could be the beginning of a journey for us. They say, as Diddy Dirty Money? She says, yes. What did you observe? He would drag her and kick her and punch her in the mouth. And what would prompt these acts of violence? Objection. This is Westmoreland. The judge overrules. Richard says, when she would speak up for herself. Who in security witnessed these things? D-Rock and Bonds? Where did Miss Ventura get hit? Her knees, her face, all over. Did there come a time where you were in New York for a festival? Yes, in Central Park. In the residence, what happened? He punched Cassie. She came into the bathroom crying. You could see her upset. She was hurt. Westmoreland objects. The judge sustains. What injuries did you observe? Swollen eye. Why did you remain with Miss Ventura after this incident? I wanted her to feel supported. What's this? The Central Park event. They show a photo of Cassie, Don Richard too. Why did you wear solidarity? I actually have a picture of that presentation. Thanks to Season Sagittarius for sending me that on Twitter, DMing me this picture. Let's see, where is it? I know I have it. Hold on. By the way, I meant to mention that none of the kids came to court today, as far as I know, but the twins over the weekend had prom, and they were getting ready for prom on TikTok and doing the whole thing. Pretty sure it's a tough time, but they're still pushing through. Shout out to them. So these are some of the images that were shown to the jury when Cassie was on the stand as well. But as you can see, here's her in those sunglasses. Her lip is swollen on the bottom left picture. Top left picture, you see the eyebrow gash she spoke of. Swollen lips on the right top. And then looks like medication on the bottom right. Yeah. The next assault, who was there? D-Rock, Capricorn Clark, Harv Pierre. Who was Mr. Pierre? At Bad Boy answering to Sean Combs. Did they do anything? None of us did anything. When we drove back to LA, he slapped Cassie in the mouth and told her to shut the F up. How did the passengers respond? We stayed silent the ride. I asked myself, if he did that to someone he supposedly loved, what would he do to an employee? So I approached Mr. Combs with softness. Did you try to intervene in the relationship? No, for my own safety. Did you see Mr. Combs using rugs? Yes, weed, ketamine, Molly, coke, opiates? That I never saw. Who brought him the rugs? One stop, he had it all, including Plan B, birth control. Child, it's a one-stop pharmacy. Let me put her picture back up so we know we're reminding y'all that we're talking to Don Richard of Dirty Money and Danity Kane. See if there's any comments. Baby Yoda said assault in plain sight. Horrible. Definitely horrible. Thank you for the bells, Wild Wayne. Okay, let's keep going. Like this video, please, and thank you. Prosecution asks, did you see Mr. Combs with GUNs? She says, yes, hand GUNs on his lower back. Who else had GUNs? She says security, D-Rock, and Bonds. What did you do after Bad Boy? Sing whenever I got momentum. I get a FaceTime from him. Oh, okay. She says she was sing, and whenever I got momentum, I get a FaceTime from him. So he was clout chasing. Prosecution asked, how would you speak to him? She said, very soft. I'd always call him bro. That was actually smart to call him bro. Make sure you put him in the friend zone, or not that he cared, honestly. Prosecution asked, why did you not disclose the abuse you'd seen? I was told not to by Mr. Combs and Harv Pierre. When did you speak out? 2024. I saw Ms. Ventura take the stand and tell the truth. Westmoreland says objection, the judge sustains. Did you see Ms. Ventura file a civil lawsuit and then file your own? She said yes. So she straight up says she told the truth on the stand, child. The judge says cross. Time for cross exam, okay? The judge is really watching the clock on this. He wants to make sure they stay within their time frame. There's a lot of witnesses to be called, and a lot of them are traveling. So it's very easy to have missteps when it comes to the logistics alone of this thing. All right, so Westmoreland gets up there. So they're going to use Westmoreland the newest attorney to the team. She says, "You're aware there's a motion to dismiss your lawsuit?" She said, "I have civil lawyers. You sat with the prosecutors and your allegations have changed?" She said, "I've been consistent. You testified he attempted to hit her about the eggs and Miss Ventura dropped down in a fetal position, right?" "Yes." "Did you ever say you heard a pan hit the wall? You didn't see it?" "I don't recall." "Would you agree with me it has been hard for you to keep your story straight with respect to this egg incident?" "I told it as close as I could." "The day after, you say Mr. Combs said people go missing." "Yes." Let's do to your interview on March. Let's go to your interview on March 18th, 2025. You did not say anything about Mr. Combs told you people go missing." She said, "I don't recall that." "No worries. I'm going to show you a document for the parties only, page 5. Isn't it true the first time you said this was a week ago? Would you like me to show you your previous interviews?" "I know what I said." "You said Mr. Combs made a death threat, one that you didn't recall, 7 times?" Let's move to the alleged incident before the Central Park concert. You were aware there was a camera crew? Not in the bathroom. You were filmed in the park. Are you aware if the video has been turned over? No. About the GUNs, you didn't tell the prosecutors about. I saw GUNs at Daddy's house. They didn't ask. You never saw Mr. Combs pull a GUN out and wave it around, load bullets, or cock it. He just had it. Now, the fact that she says the government didn't ask, that pretty much is saying, I only gave them what they asked for. She's basically like, I didn't tell them everything, and letting us know there's more to her story. All right. Westmoreland continues, did you tell the government you never saw Mr. Combs do coke? She says, I don't recall. Your testimony has changed on quite a few things. As time progresses, I remember more. You saw One Stop sell rugs. You saw him take money? She said, yes. All right, 1 second. Didn't you tell the government you never saw anyone pay him? So you lied, right? No. The judge asked for a sidebar, and they continue when they get back. Westmoreland says it was you who reached out to Mr. Combs to work with him again, right? She says, yes. But he had threatened you, right? You asked him to work with you again? Yes. Okay. The songs you're released on your own have not reached the level of what you released with Danity Kane or Diddy Dirty Money, right? True. And you reached out to Mr. Combs to try to make more money, right? Yes. Can we have a short sidebar? This is the prosecution asking. It says sidebar, and it is not short. Still wondering why the side's legal arguments to the judge, judicial documents, will only go into the docket on a week's delay. We'll be doing weekly ebooks, he said. This is the reporter saying they're back from a long sidebar and it's time to redirect. The prosecution says, asks, why did you file your civil lawsuit? Dawn says, when I worked for Sean Combs, I had no sleep. The conditions. Prosecution asks, in every meeting with the government, did you say that Mr. Combs beat Miss Ventura? She said, yes. Why'd you reach out to Mr. Combs? She said, one of the judge on making the ban, Lorianne Gibson, I wanted to reach out. Westmoreland objects. The judge sustains. How often would you hear from Mr. Combs after you left Diddy Dirty Money? She said it was sporadic. Why did you reach out? To help Kalena Harper. No further questions. Westmoreland comes back up and she says, may I have a brief conference at the bench? So they have another sidebar. So Dawn is saying she didn't get into the mix until she stepped in to help Kalena. If you guys remember, Kalena had that tragic interview about Dawn, calling her a liar. I think she was real loopy on that interview. But then it turned up in court filings that she actually was being harassed by Diddy. He called her an incessant amount of times and basically was telling her she better have his back. So now we're recrossing. Westmoreland says, on the stand with Dawn Richard, you admit you reached out to Mr. Combs to re-engage. You claim you only have a relationship with Lorianne Gibson. But if it got back together, you'd have to see Mr. Combs more, right? She says, yes. You sued for money, right? She said, for justice. But the suit asked for money, right? Yes. No further questions. The judge asked Ms. Slavic, and she redirect. Donaldson asked for a break, and he is another newer attorney on Diddy's team. The other brother. All right, so they have their little break. Let me come over and see if there's any comments before I go on. Y'all quiet over here. Hey, Shamina. Yes. Happy Monday. Y'all up? Y'all alert for the week? You thankful for the body, for all the blessings? Hey, Juti. Alexis, oh no, she was doing well into the I don't recalls. Now it seems like she's lying. Yeah, she says as time goes on, she's remembering. You know, mind you, a lot of people, they black stuff out. When you have bad experiences, some of y'all might know and you might not know because you don't know that you blocked it out, but you block stuff out. And then once something starts to open the door to something and trigger, and then that door starts opening slowly but surely, little by little, the memories start coming back. You know, you start getting that old thing back. All right, let's get back into court. It sounds like she's done. We're going to get into Kerry Morgan. I'm going to throw her picture up here. Kerry Morgan and Cassie met a long time ago when they modeled for teen magazines. Let me see if I have one of them. I think I have here it is. I have a picture of them when they were young. It was interesting. She's described as Diddy's assistant or ex-assistant. This is them when they were young. And she's coming up on the stand. Let's get into it. The jury is entering. Prosecution says the government calls Kerry Morgan. Where do you live? Los Angeles. Who is this? They show a photo. Cassie Ventura. What was your relationship? We were best friends. Her boyfriend assaulted me. Wow. Right off the bat. The government says, do you see him here? She says, yes. There in a yellow. Let the record reflect the witness has identified defendant Sean Combs. Why are you here? I got a subpoena. Where did you live with Cassie? Manhattan. Did Cassie drink? Not much. Any drugs? None. What was she doing for work? Modeling. Then she recorded me and you. When did you learn that they were dating? 2007. Did you travel with Cassie and Mr. Combs? Yes. Ibiza, Miami. What drugs did Mr. Combs provide? Molly, marijuana, ecstasy. Which did Mr. Combs take? All. Did you take drugs alone with Cassie? Opiates. How long did Mr. Combs act? How did Mr. Combs act? He would yell. She lost her confidence big time, lost her spark. Did Mr. Combs, wow, she said she lost her spark. Did Mr. Combs talk down to Cassie? Yes, about her looks, who she talked to. Did he contact you looking for her? A lot. Sometimes he would call 50 times in a row. Would others call you for him? Yes, Christina Coram or KK. Did you witness assaults? Yes, first in the Hollywood Hills. Ruben, one of his security guards, was there. What did Mr. Combs do to Cassie? He kicked her. What did she do? Nothing. I told Ruben to do something. He indicated he wouldn't. Then what? We left the house. Cassie and I were hiding by someone's front steps. And the next time, in Jamaica, I saw him drag her by her hair. I ran back to get my purse and phone so we could leave. What did you see next? I thought she was knocked out. Then she got up and ran into a wooded area. What happened next? There were 2 golf carts in the driveway. I got in one, and Sean got in the other. We went in different directions, looking for Cassie. Did you find her? Yes. Then we hid in a ditch, whispering. What about the incident at Comstock apartment? Cassie came back with a hoodie covering her face. Then Sean came and tried to get in, hitting the door with a hammer. I called D-Rock. Did he get in? No. Then the police came. What happened? Cassie wouldn't show them her ID. Nothing happened. They left a card. Read this message. Did you send an attachment? Yes, a photo of the card the detective left. Did Mr. Combs ever assault you? Yes. He hit me with a wood coat hanger and choked me. Where did the hanger hit you? Behind my right ear. What did he express concern about? Who Cassie was cheating on him with? Who did you speak to about it? Ryan, Sean's old assistant. What did he do? Nothing, she shrugged. I have not spoken to Cassie since. The judge says break. With the jury out for lunch, the arguments continue between the parties. Judge says, what's your best citation to try to get this evidence in? AUSA says 614F, 3D 30 at 39, and 945F, 3D at 706. The judge says, I'll look at them and we'll come back. Ignifilo says, I haven't seen this before. The judge says, you all need to get something to eat. Break. He got to be the mama and the daddy, the timekeeper, everything. All right, let me see if any comments. Any comments? Oh, I love you right back, girl. Love, Queen. Thank you so much. Ray Ray said, first Kerry said Cassie didn't do rugs, then she did. Yeah, maybe when they first met, she was saying they did that. I'm not sure if that's the question that was asked. This guy, bless his heart. He's tweeting as much as he can, but he leaves out a lot of key things as well. Oh, you're out? Okay, gotcha. Judy. Yes, thankful as well. All right, well, let's get back into the courtroom. Kerry Morgan's on the stand. We're coming back from lunch. The judge says, if I let this in, Miss Ventura could be recalled as a witness. The prosecution says, I doubt that we would call her. The judge says the defense could call her back to the stand. And the government said, I doubt she will be available. And judge says the evidence is out. See, the thing is, the judge apparently had gotten upset with the defense last week because they felt that, they promised they would be done with Cassie's testimony by Friday. I think Cassie put a hard stop for herself for Friday because she's about to have a baby. And the judge pressed this upon the defense, but the defense kept dangling their feet. They kept hedging and, not really being forthcoming. So the judge finally said, this is how long you got. So they had really until Friday morning with her. Now, word is they were going to try to say, this is unconstitutional. His life is on the line and we can't even finish questioning her because she has other plans. That's not our problem. And people were saying they were trying to use the fact that they're claiming to not have access to this witness, to Cassie, enough to satisfy their needs with regard to their case. And they're saying this is really fit for mistrial. They really are trying to get a mistrial because they claim. And so by them saying we can call her, the defense can call her back. Yeah, what if she's not available? She could be in labor or even just post-labor or even pre-labor. It's not suitable conditions, and she doesn't live in New York. So they would love, especially for that to be the reason, because Cassie couldn't come back to court, for this thing to get thrown out, or maybe even have to have a retrial. All they're doing is sucking Diddy's money out his pockets anyway. So the more time they get, the better for them. So they're back from lunch. Okay. So the judge says the evidence is out at this point. He tried to say, if I let it in, this could be possible. This might happen. And the prosecution was smart to basically let it be very clear. She ain't coming back. So don't even try that. Don't open the door to it. And the judge said, bet. Evidence is out. So the judge says, I anticipate Mr. David James will be the next witness. How is he relevant? The prosecution says, as to the means and methods of the enterprise, Mr. Combs threatening to assault employees. The reporter then makes a note here while waiting for the jury to come back. Here is court art of Combs' second lawyer, Georgia lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland, as she cross-examined Don Richard this morning. Oh, okay. That's a nice picture. Let me see. Can y'all see it? Let me show y'all. That's the court art. The attorney is the one to the further left. Okay. So the jury is entering. Prosecution says no further questions for Ms. Morgan. The judge says cross. Agnifilo gets up. He says, you were Ms. Ventura's best friend since 2004? Actually, 2001. We met waiting for the Polaroids to develop. I was living in Buffalo. She was in Connecticut. Agnifilo says, then you were both in New York City. She says, I stayed downtown. She moved to Harlem. Have you ever met Kim Porter? Yes, probably at a concert. Was Cassie ever jealous? Yes. And the other way? Cassie was speaking with Michael B. Jordan and Sean got jealous. She was trying to leave him. You were both using rugs? No, we were in South Africa. Did you learn about Gina? Yes. He was having a full-on relationship with this little girl. No, he didn't. She said that. She said he was having a full-on relationship with this little girl. Agnifilo says, why do you call her that? She acts like that. She's younger than us. When you say Sean came and hammered on the door, why did the police come? They said because of the noise. What did they say to you? Cassie was visibly injured, but she didn't say anything. You two were best friends for 18 years, but now you haven't spoken with her since 2018? That's true. At the danger of being capital obvious, I think it meant Captain Obvious. At the danger of being Captain Obvious, that's a long time. She moved on. Objection. The prosecution objects. Ignifilo says, why haven't you spoken with her? She says she did not support me after Sean assaulted me. I draw the line at assault. Good for her. Ignifilo said, you reached a settlement with Ms. Ventura? She said the money came from Mr. Combs. Ignifilo shows Kerry Morgan photos and then asks, do you know if Louise Hayes is a self-help author about self-affirmation? Yes. Why did you send him this with words of encouragement? I don't remember sending it. Okay. I want to show you a few more photos, but first let's talk about the incident when he put his hands on your neck. Were you and Cassie using any rugs at the time? No. What did he say? He said, who is she cheating with? You went to an urgent care and not the hospital? Right. But you don't, the prosecutors, it was bloody, but you told the prosecutors it was bloody and you went to the hospital. I don't remember that. Look at this 3500 material not shown to the jury. She said, I see that. I said that. So it must be a text message. Now cross-examination. USA Foster says, do you remember Mr. Ignifilo asking you about an incident in LA? Ignifilo says, objection, the judge overrules. Foster says he hit her like in Jamaica, arguing about jealousy. What happened in Jamaica? He dragged Cassie by her hair and a 50-yard hallway. Was he talking about jealousy? No, he said she spent too long in the bathroom. Nothing further. Any recross? Ignifilo says, now. I guess that means no. I guess our boy is tired, child. He said no. All right. So we're going to have David James up next. David James here on the right. This is a picture with Capricorn Jones. I'm going to actually pull up a different picture because that one has the Getty on there. All right. Then David James is going to be testifying next. He is an ex-employee who spent a lot of time with Diddy. Next witness, like I said, he says, next witness is David James. The prosecutor asks, why are you here? He says, I've been subpoenaed. Were you Combs' personal assistant from 2007 to 2009? Who was that in this photo? That is David James. That is yourself? Yes. I went to college in Michigan. Later, I faxed my resume to Bad Boy. Where was the interview? 1710 Broadway. Who'd you meet? Tommy, his sister Keisha, and others. How did they test you? They gave me 40 appointments and asked me to make a schedule. You had to know, for example, what time a particular show on Hot 97 came on. What did Mr. Combs ask you? To make a spreadsheet for Miami. I said, I know his food and restaurant preferences. He asked me why I'd make a good assistant. I said, can't stop, won't stop. I got the job. Did he have others? Miss Robles, Mr. Barber, others? What would you do as an assistant? Bad Boy to 5, then out to dinner, then to the studio to 3 a.m. We get a call time at the end of the night. Did you travel with Mr. Combs as well? Yes. Who were the security staff? D-Rock, Bonds, Uncle Polly. You worked 20 hours a day? Yes, security did too. What did security staff tell you? To stay in my lane. Who said that? Bond, Uncle Polly. Focusing on his personal chef. Who is this? Who is that? Chef Jordan. And it says Jordan Atkinson. Did Mr. Combs have girlfriends then? Kim Porter, Sarah, Tara, Yana, and Cassie. What was your first conversation with Cassie? We were on Star Island. Kerry Morgan was there too. Cassie said, this lifestyle is crazy. I asked her, why don't you leave? She said, Sean controls my life, my music. He pays for my apartment. Next conversation. It was about her music, but the album never came out. Did you overhear a conversation? Yes. Mr. Combs said, Kim is my queen out in LA with my family. He said, I have Cassie right here, right where I want her. She's young and moldable. Your Honor, how much longer do you want to go? This would be a good place to break. That was the prosecution. And then Agnifilo says, it says, wait, there's more. Agnifilo says, MDC Brooklyn makes us end VCT calls at 6 p.m. We need more. Ending at 3 p.m. helps. If you can extend it, the judge said, put a letter on the docket. So that's how it went. What do y'all think about today's proceeding? Let me come over. So we had, a couple of starter witnesses. They all corroborate the abuse. Alexis said, damn, Diddy was beating everybody up. This is crazy for sure. While Wayne said, guilty, guilty, guilty. Love Queen, how many attorneys Pufferfish have now? I think he has 8 or 9. Another, I don't remember from a witness. I hope the government doesn't mess this up. Yeah. Inmate Diddy has no dream team. That photo looked like a crime scene. This one right here, he don't look happy, that assistant. He looked like he just went through something. Hey, Trav, they said dude David James was crying. Oh, yeah, sure did. I'm actually going to play. That's what I'm saying about the text. You can't get all the context. But, yeah, they said he was weeping on the stand, this guy. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, I want to get a couple of odds and ends here. Gene Deal showed up. I don't think he's testifying because I believe, was in the courtroom. I don't think they want people testifying to be in the courtroom. But I'm going to give y'all a couple of odds and ends here.
Patriots literally just stepping out of court. This is crazy, guys. I was in the actual courtroom. I got in there. My man KK, it worked. Diddy made eye contact with me, looked at me, and waved hello. He looked around and waved hello to me. Oh my God, this is crazy. So lots of stuff happening. Don Richard took the stand again. And guys, I hate to say it, the lawyer for Diddy, Miss Westmoreland is her name. She's a bulldog. I told her that. I saw her out in the hallway during a break. I was like, you are good. And she's like, thank you. But I mean, Miss Westmoreland destroyed Don Richards on the stand. I hate to say it, but that's what everybody coming out is going to say, that Don Richard was just totally discredited on the stand. Why? Because she had 8 different meetings with the feds, the government. Oh man, is that Gene Deal? Can I say hey to you for a second on my TikTok? Guys, this is Gene Deal. Yeah, I've been reporting on you for a while, man. I'm Secret Service Sam. Guys, this is Gene Deal. Gene Deal, how are you feeling, my friend? Give my Patriots an exclusive. What do you think's going on in there? Guys, Gene Deal is the main man. He's the bodyguard. He has been the one leading the entire front on this Diddy campaign. That's it, right? I mean, besides Jaguar Wright, you're the most credible person we have. You're Diddy's ex-bodyguard. Tell the folks, man. You don't want to say much? Come
You
on,
already
Gene.
did it, Playboy.
Come on, Gene. You're always saying something. Give him something here. What do you?
Gene is a big boy. I know we knew he was a big boy, but whoo-wee.
You think Diddy's gonna get off, or you think what are we looking like?
I think the prosecution is doing a great job. They need to keep up the good work.
Right.
I think they went real lenient on them because they could have hit them with way more charges.
Right.
They did, and that's it.
What do you think about Dawn Richard? Miss Westmoreland was like, the lawyer was destroying her on the stand, her credibility. She had 8 different times she met with the feds, and they're like, why did you not mention anything about Diddy threatening your life and all that time? Do you believe Dawn Richard?
A lot of people are traumatized, man. You know, you got to look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at something that this guy holding their life in their hands.
Right, and that makes a difference. Hey, I appreciate you, man.
Right.
Thank you for everything you
sir.
do. All right.
Thank you.
Guys, that's Gene Deal. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's an exclusive. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you, sir. Oh, you did? Thank you. I appreciate that. You're the Diddy, and probably the Gene Deal, the main security guard for Diddy, and probably the most trusted and believed source. And I just got you an exclusive. Look, everybody's chasing him. Secret Service Sam just has the conversation. Love you guys.
Like I said, I think he was actually in the courtroom. I don't know that he's actually going to testify. They even said they don't want people telling people or even have anything to do with the trial at all. If you've done interviews, they're saying the government did not call. I'll be sure for that reason, as well as Aubrey O'Day. Let's hear this.
Diddy's former assistant, David James, just broke down in tears on the stand.
So this is the whisperer. I hope y'all can hear her. She literally just said that David James just broke down on the stand. You got to really turn it up for her. Turn up your volume, child.
Talking about what it was really like working for Diddy behind the scenes. James said that he applied to work with Diddy because he wanted to break into fashion, but what he walked into was not that. An executive at Bad Boy told him, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom. We are all here to serve him." She even pointed at a photo of Diddy on the wall. James said he will never forget him. He worked non-stop, sometimes 3 weeks straight with no days off. His job was to make sure every space was comfortable for Diddy. Now remember, Cassie named James as one of the assistants who allegedly helped arrange the FOs. So this wasn't just about parents and from loyal assistant to emotional witness. David James may have witnessed more than anyone else. So what's he still holding back? Stay tuned.
I had to get my hands on these transcripts because that's where it's really at. So someone in the comments said that this is laying the ground for the RICO for real, because it's more so sounding like a cult, and that Diddy is at the top of that cult, just like R. Kelly was the head of the Octopus, just like Keith Raniere from the X whatever cult that he got convicted and sentenced to 120 federal years, 120 years for very similar things. Now, here's the other one about the bail.
Let me read you some of the updates. So the judge said he will stay behind bars. The judge ruled his bail is denied because no conditions can assure the safety of the community. 100% agree with Jub Sumeranian. Now, it was filed today on Hump Day. He wrote there is serious risk of witness tampering and direct evidence of Combs' violence. Let me read you some of the updates. So that
Somebody else posted this though. This is not from his channel. This might be an old post because I didn't see anything about bail in the docket. Child, Here is Diddy. I think it's his first meeting with Cassie. Ryan Leslie is there by her side. And just take a look at how the table is seated. It's a big, powerful moment. And think about Cassie being 19 years old.
Everybody meet Cassie. Y'all know that. And here's a story directly from Miles. Then we can get down to some business about just so we can be on the same page of what the plan is as far as Tommy is concerned, and from where we're concerned as also a label and one at Atlantic. So everybody's on the same page. I think the best thing to do is to kind of give an overview or a history of how we came to the project. Can't know where we're going unless we know where we came from. Ryan is a producer that I've been working with for the last 2 years. That was brought to me by Ed Woods, who Ryan assigned to their label, and also as a producer, and has done some stuff for the label. And somebody's like one of my go-to people. New actors just needed records right away. Somebody that go in the trenches, musical genius.
So he's here bigging up Ryan Leslie, who he went behind this man's back because he and Cassie were dating at the time, Ryan and Cassie. And he went behind his back to snake Cassie away from him. Remember, part of the testimony of Cassie's was that they faked a flyer that she was having a performance in Miami so that she and Diddy could link up behind Ryan's back. But yet here he is in this meeting introducing him and calling him all types of geniuses and just really giving him his cigars.
New age Teddy Riley, Dr. Kerry, Quincy Jones, Pharrell, but to his level, in his own way. But he had something else that attracted me to his situation, which was he had a new global outlook. He had a record that he didn't put out here, and he went and started going over to Europe and doing shows and starting to build a following over in Europe. And I took notice to that because I didn't really see a lot of artists that would have the ingenuity to do that. So when he was doing that, I heard he also had a young lady that was with him named Cassie that had a record out. And I started hearing this record that was haunting me in the clubs, and it was Cassie's record, and it was. I would hear it everywhere I was at. And so I kept asking who was that, and when told me that it was Ryan, exactly, it was Cassie. When I saw her and I met her and I saw this DVD on her, hopefully we can play that. That's what kind of made me like really fall in love with the project, because I saw something more than just records. I saw something that there was a personality there. There was something that, the whole world could fall in love with.
It was something the whole world could fall in love with because he felt like he did. That is what all of that was. When I first met her and when I first saw her and I saw the DVD opportunity, I knew we had something special. Child. Okay, so as always, so much going on with regard to this dang trial. There was a lot going on before the trial started. Now we're actually in the trial, and there's a lot going on within the trial and on the outside, just in the paperwork. So I'm going to have to take some time to go through some of this paperwork so we can do a paperwork party, if you will. Let me see. I wanted to bring up, there's a lot of things going on with Tory Lanez right now. I want to be reporting on. Please visit my channel, The Nosy Goddess, Nozey. I put the link in the chat. Thank you for asking, Shamina. I'm going to probably report on Tory Lanez because now they're saying that the ex-DA is the one, they discovered some type of bombshell evidence after a 6-month investigation. A regular news station at this point. So it's something to it. I want to talk about that. Elon Musk, he's out here talking about Jay-Z. He supposedly exposed that Jay-Z paid $20 million to radio shows, $40 country stations and $110 million for downloads. So Beyonce could win the best country album category. I don't know why Elon Musk would even be involved in any of that. I did want to talk about the Combs twins. We know that, they showed up for court for their dad for a couple of days, and thankfully they have continued living their life outside of court. They don't need to be involved, I think, in this legal process that's going on with their dad. No, I don't think any of the kids should be there, but today they say none of the kids were there. But I mean, I kind of feel like, and here the guys are supporting their sisters, Diddy probably told them to be at court because it's a good look for him to have the family support, even though these are some gruesome charges. That's the kind of sick mind I think that man has. Like, if my family's there, it's a good look for me. So he probably told them to come, knowing they have all kinds of things going on in their lives as young adults, to be trying to focus on what daddy got going on and the details of it. That is court. And you see these witnesses crying and talking about how vicious and nasty and this man has, the things he's done. How do you just shake that off when you leave the courtroom and go on about your day? I don't know if that's possible. They're beautiful as always, some gorgeous girls. Even Quincy commented, "Damn, I'm blessed. Y'all look like mommy." It's really sad that their circumstances, reflect a lot of tragedy, a lot of trauma. And who knows what really is going on behind closed doors of those homes they've been living in with their dad. Yikes. There's so many things to talk about, but I think I'm going to leave it at that and stick to the trial matters on the Trial Lives. Stay focused. Let me see. What are y'all talking about? Oh, Cassie was a baby. She definitely was. Shamina says, trauma can protect your mind into forgetting the most horrific things. Yes. I wonder what happened to Q in day 26. Yeah, they were crying. Well, one of them was crying more. Was it Mike? I can't remember which one. But yeah, they were definitely affected by their Diddy experience. He was crying over something that happened to him or Dawn. I think it happened to him. I think. Didn't they go to prom last year? I think they did. But I think this is their senior prom. I believe they're seniors, which I thought they were same age as Chance, but she's already in college. So she probably skipped a grade when she was younger. But yeah, I think they did go to prom last year. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I remember posting some prom pictures on my community wall. Miss Sunshine, where's the support of Kim's side of the family? We never see them. Yeah, they probably scared and probably in hiding. Or if not, they just want to be far away from this mess. I mean, I'm thinking there's threats, that have been dealt out. That friend of hers, supposedly Lala, who she lived with, she still lives at the house with the kids, or at least the twins, and is seemingly protecting him. But I think it's more so she's protecting those baby girls. I think that's more so what it is. Sometimes it can look like the parent is being protected, but it's really the kids that have the protection from these people. So, what a day, what a day. Yeah, we had a third, Black Lady Law said she didn't know we were going to have a third witness. Yeah. Again, these are some of the images of Cassie's bruises and scars and cuts, swellings. I mean, she really went through it. It seems that she was just caught in a web. I mean, it just really is that. There's a lot of people who want to straight up and down say, there ain't no RICO here. There ain't no RICO. Where's the evidence of the RICO? It is day 6 of a 8, maybe even to 10-week trial. There is no way you're going to have everything you want to see to come to your conclusion during the first week. It just don't work like that. This really tells me how ignorant some people are to the legal process And good for them, for not having to experience that. But yeah, then, we heard from the final witness today was David James, the ex-assistant, and we had Capricorn Clark, who worked for Diddy as well, was Cassie's best friend as well when they were younger, and their young teen modeling age or days. Here they are when they were young. So innocent. And then Diddy just defiled. But Dawn Richard also finished her testimony on that. Some people say she did a horrible job. You heard Gene Deal say he thinks the prosecution is doing a great job. So it's all about perspective. Some people just don't have the legalese. They don't understand how this thing goes. They think first day, second day, I need to see all the pieces. These are people we don't need on the jury, by the way. All right. So we got our young judge up there holding it down. I think that's all I can share before I click off. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday. All right. And I'm back tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'm going to see you same place, same time. All right. Till then, peace and love.